Are you someone that took life for granted? Well, I was. I didn't appreciate the small things I had in life, like shoes on my feet, clothes on my back, a free education, and a family that loved me. Going through this 5-year process of the YLP program, nothing has made me more thankful, grateful, and blessed in all the 12 years of my life before starting camp. Good afternoon, restaurant owners, TDL corporate staff, foundation staff, guests, and fellow graduates. Camp has changed my life in many ways than one. There are people struggling to eat, have neither shelter, home, nor family. Some wake up every day wondering if they will ever be free. We often get so caught up worrying about the things we do not have and forget about how privileged we are for the things we do have. We get the privilege of coming to camp every year, expenses paid, eating until we can no longer eat, and building a friendship that lasts a lifetime. We may all go through some things throughout the year. For me, it was watching my loved ones struggle with addictions, being diagnosed with cancer, and 2 of them passed, one more recent than the other. But camp is what we call our safe haven, a place where we leave all the baggage and all of our worries back home. And for 10 days, it no longer becomes relevant. Supporters of one another, we are. Condemners and fault lookers, we are not. Each year the program continued, I became stronger as a person and grew more into the leader I was called to be. Thinking back on camp, 1,000 memories flashed through my mind, but one really followed me through my whole journey. My first year in YLP, I was just as nervous as anyone else. Being away from home for the first time and not being able to communicate with your family was really hard. But I shook it off and somehow became the group comedian, or as the counselors will call me, the class clown. I would have them laughing until it was unbearable to breathe. For me, that was my way of keeping myself and everyone else around me content. One girl was a little quieter than the rest. She observed my actions and how I presented myself at camp. Without realizing it, I was impacting her every day I was at camp. Close to the end of the session, I remember her taking me aside, and as tears filled her eyes, she hugged me and said thank you. A blank expression took over my face. Instantly, I hugged her back, not even knowing why I was hugging her. But still, I went along with it. She looked at me and said, I had troubles being away from home and often couldn't sleep from being homesick. But you made me feel like I was home away from home. You constantly kept me laughing, and talking to you was like I known you my whole life. You were the one that kept me from having a breakdown. That touched me in an indescribable way. I didn't realize it at the time, but after leaving that session, that memory stood more broader than others. We don't realize how much we affect the lives of others. One smile or an acknowledgement to someone, and they could have went from taking their own life to wanting to rethink it. And all it took was that one step. Imagine if you could let your smile change the world without letting the world change your smile. Camping in the wilderness for a week leaves you no choice but to become a family. Waking up and going to sleep with each other, preparing meals with each other, pushing and guiding, laughing and crying, supporting and caring for one another can be described in no other way but family. Each day I took a step higher in my leadership capabilities, whether it was stepping outside of my comfort zone and carrying the heaviest canoe on my head, steering a canoe where most of the power came from my hands, or climbing the highest mountain with a feeling that if my legs gave out, I just might roll back down. Each one of those steps helped me in different ways with my everyday life. It can be all summed up in one point. No matter how hard the task may be or life may seem, if you go into it with a good head on your shoulders, putting your best foot forward, and keeping a positive mindset, then really you've already won because you tried. Camp and life is like a camera. Focus on what's important, capture all the good times, develop from the negatives, And if things don't work out, take another shot. Because of camp, I was inspired to help others the way that camp has helped me. I started doing various volunteer works in my community, church, and school. I mowed lawns in the summer, split and packed wood in the winter for the seniors in my community that didn't have the physical ability to do so themselves. I took part in Eliminate Racism Day, sat on the student council at my school, served for community events, took on a leadership role with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program. Over the past 5 years, I have been a part of 2 documentaries about bridging the gap between the seniors and the youth in my community. In the year of 2010, I was awarded the Human Rights Award. And in the year of 2012, I was then awarded the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. They said it was because of my skills, hard work, and dedication. But I say it was because of the strong foundation I was built on. Camp has taught me everything I needed to know to become a leader, a role model, and a stronger individual. Next year, I will be going to school to take nursing because I now have a passion for helping others and making a difference in not only my life, but in the lives of others. I grew up my whole life without a father figure. My father passed away when I was only young. From then, my mother took on the huge responsibility of raising my sister and I. You may say that's what mothers are for, or that's a mother's job. But I say she did a heck of a job doing it and went above and beyond her duty to make sure that my sister and I had everything we needed. Now I know people usually introduce themselves in the beginning, but I chose to introduce myself in the end. Because the person I was before this program is not the same person standing in front of you all today. Hi, my name is Kendra Angelique Slaughter. I was born and raised in the community of East Preston, inside of Halifax. I am now an ambitious leader, a role model, and have more compassion than ever before. None of this would have ever been possible if it had not been for my incredible sponsors. To me, you were the gift that kept on giving. I am so thankful and so honored you took the time from your lives to make a difference in mine. To all the Tim Horton restaurant owners, TDL corporate staff, foundation staff, and the camp counselors throughout my journey, thank you for your ongoing support. You have all played a huge part in my experience with the Tim Hortons Children's Foundation, and for that I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. To all of my graduates, my hat goes off to you. This wasn't an easy journey. We might not have it all together, but together we have it all. So no matter which path you choose to take in life, always remember the strong foundation we were all built on. Because every struggle in your life is what shaped you into the person you are today. So be thankful for the hard times, because they only made us stronger. The motto that I live by every day of my life is, if I can help at least one person along the way, my living won't be in vain. Thank you.